friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 30th of July and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. First is oil spills. A tanker in the Bay of Manila carrying 1.4 million liters of petroleum got sunk due to a typhoon. This has led to the oil spills in the Bay of Manila. This oil spill can have environmental impacts, economic impacts, and the humans living in that region can also be impacted negatively, obviously. There are multiple ways of dealing with oil spills. Now, let's see how the authorities get to that. Next is the controversy with respect to the dresses worn by the Indian athletes in the Paris Olympics 2024. Tarun Tahiliani, a renowned Indian fashion designer, had designed these dresses for the Indian athletes, but he is facing the heat on the social media right now. Reason: the dresses made by him, they do not represent the true picture of India. What is the true picture of India? The true picture of India is entailing weavers and designers who make those minute or intricate designs, but the designs or the prints which are being imprinted on those dresses are machine printed. The material used for them is cotton and not silk. Some athletes complained about the fit of those dresses, and there is a logo of Tasva, the designer brand owned by Tarun Tahiliani in collaboration with Aditya Birla, was also printed on these dresses. That is why this dress has become controversial. Next is Oropouche fever. Oropouche fever is endemic to South America and Central America. This is a viral fever transmitted by bugs and mosquitoes, very much similar to dengue. Symptoms are also similar. But in the history of humankind, this Oropouche fever was never fatal. Unfortunately, two girls aged 30 years and below, they have died due to this fever in Brazil. And these girls did not have any comorbidities, means no other diseases they had. So we'll study about this fever, its basics, and then we'll come to the MCQs based on these three topics, and then we'll be discussing the MCQs from yesterday. Now, oil spills. So there was this typhoon Gaimi which came and it has wreaked havoc across three countries: Taiwan, Philippines, and parts of Southeast China. The resultant heavy rains also led to the sinking of the oil tanker MT Terra Nova. This MT Terra Nova was carrying 1.4 million liters of oil, and this tanker sank in the Manila Bay. Manila Bay is over here. This is a magnified view of the Manila Bay. This is Manila Bay. This is Manila over here. This is Lime. This is all Philippines. This, if you see a broader view of this, this is where the tanker sank. Philippines, this is. Now, since the sinking of the tanker has happened, the oil has spilled. What is an oil spill? Oil spill is the release of liquid petroleum into the environment, typically water. So, typically water, it has happened over here on typically water. This can happen accidentally during extraction, transportation, or refining. So, this has happened accidentally during transportation, and this accident was a natural disaster. How can the severity of oil spill be detected? The severity of an oil spill can range from small localized leaks to catastrophic events. It depends how far that oil has spread. The distance definitely will be directly proportional to the damage or severity of that oil spill. Impacts of oil spill, that is important to know, and how it is impacting, that is important to know. First is environmental damage. It has the potential to do environmental damage. Marine life, definitely marine life will be impacted. Oil coats the feathers of the birds and fur of marine mammals. And this oil coating on the feather of the birds or marine mammals disrupt their ability to regulate body temperature, leading to death. One unique thing, I think on these lines UPSC asks questions. Fish, invertebrates and other aquatic life are also affected by oil ingestion. They ingest the oil, that oil goes in their body, it greases their various body parts like the gills from which oxygen is taken and circulated in the body of the fishes or the marine animals. So those get choked and leading to their death. Coastal ecosystems, oil can smother beaches, destroying habitats for plants and animals in the coastal areas. It also harms wetlands, marshes and mangroves, which are crucial for coastal protection and biodiversity. It can cause water pollution. Obviously, this is quite commonsensical. Oil can contaminate water sources, making them unsafe for drinking, agriculture, as well as recreation in that region. Now, oil spills always will not happen in the oceans. It can happen in the freshwater resources as well. So, this can also be there. Economic impacts. Economic impacts, fisheries, oil spills can devastate fishing industries, leading to job losses and economic hardships for coastal communities. Obviously, when the fish count will go down due to oil spills, and we know how fish count can go down, their ability to regulate their body temperature reduces. They get choked due to inhalation of, I would say, that oil. So, that count will go down. That count definitely will impact the earnings of the people dependent upon the fishes. Tourism, contaminated beaches and damaged ecosystems can deter tourists, obviously. Cleanup costs are too high, they are substantial, and it is substantial for the private companies or the governments as well. Human health, respiratory problems are there. Oil fumes can cause respiratory issues in humans. Skin irritation can be there. Contact with oil can lead to skin irritation. Contaminated food, oil contaminated seafood can pose health risk if consumed. Quite commonsensical. All these things can be there. How to deal with this oil spills? That is to be understood. Containment is the first step. Means if this oil spill is there in this region, let's suppose this is the oil spill in this region. So we have to create barriers for containing this oil spill. That is containment. Dispersants, chemicals can be applied to break up the oil into smaller droplets. So it can be broken up into smaller droplets so that it can further easily degrade. But yes, this dispersants, they can have negative impacts on the environment or the local ecology as well. That can also be there. So we have to be very careful. Skimming. Oil can be skimmed from the water surface using specialized equipment. We can remove the top layer of the water because oil, one blessing over here is that oil will always float on the water. So we can remove that. That is called as skimming. Burning, in certain conditions, oil can be burned off the water surface. So burn it off, oil will go away. Bioremediation. Bio, the word is used, so some living organisms, particularly microorganisms, are used to be spread, and those I would say those microorganisms, they decompose oil, they consume oil kind of. That is called as bioremediation. Shoreline cleanup, manual removal of oil from beaches and shorelines is often necessary. Wildlife rescue and rehabilitation. Obviously, we have to rescue and rehabilitate them in case of oil spills. They will keep on dying. Their population can substantially be impacted. Major oil spill of the past. There has been one major oil spill in the past. There have been many, but yes, one very famous oil spill is the Exxon Valdez spill in the year 1989. And this approximately spilled 11 million gallons of crude oil in the Prince William Sound of the Gulf of Alaska, USA. Impact: the oil spill killed an estimated 250,000 seabirds, 2,800 sea otters, 300 harbor seals, 250 bald eagles, and as many as 22 killer whales, and billions of salmon and herring eggs, according to the Environment Protection Agency of USA. Despite extensive cleanup efforts, the region continues to suffer the environmental damage, means there are long-term impacts of oil spills. Studies by US Geological Survey have revealed persistent contamination in sediments, ongoing declines in the certain fish populations in the region, and continued challenges in restoring the kelp forest and other essential habitats in the local vicinity of that region. So, definitely long-term impacts are also there. Then, next is controversy with respect to the dress worn by Indian athletes in Paris Olympics. So this is the dress you can see. For males it was this, for females it was this. Designer Tarun Tahiliani, Sports Minister Mr. Hansukh Mandavia, PT Usha, the Chief of Indian Olympic Commission, the head of Indian Olympic Commission. So by looking at this picture, You get to know the dresses, you get to know those people who are involved in choosing the dresses, and so we'll see. The social media blitz over the uniform of the Indian contingent at the Olympics, with reactions ranging from its tacky and underwhelming look on to an injustice to the Indian weaving traditions and motifs. So the people, they are criticizing this dress on the social media and saying that they are not presenting the true picture of India. And this is basically a big blow, or I would say a big embarrassment for Indian weavers. Indian weavers don't create these kind of designs. They are world known for their designs. So who decides the uniform? This work is a partnership between the Indian Olympics Committee and the designer or design houses who is contacted after a fair bid. The selection process factors in both financial and creative aspects of the agency. Which designer or design agency was chosen this time? It was basically the first time that the uniform for Team India was entrusted to a designer, a fashion designer, Tarun Tahiliani, via Tasva. And first time only this disaster happened, or this controversy happened. Let's not call it a disaster, let's call it a controversy. The premium affordable menswear label launched by him and Aditya Birla Fashion Retail Limited. This Tasva is a collaboration between Tarun Tahiliani and Aditya Birla Fashion Retail Limited. This fashion house made this, I would say, outfit. And, you know, other fashion houses for other countries definitely make it. Many couture brands feature in the Paris Olympics 2024 list of uniform makers. They include Ralph Lauren for United States, Berluti for France, and Emporio Armani for Italy. Tasva for India, which has come under controversy on social media. What are the considerations in the outfit? According to Tahiliani, a designer has to follow a set of guidelines put out by the Indian Olympic Committee. The team has to factor in the colors of the tricolor, and those tricolors should be visible from a distance, so that from distance only we can recognize, acha, this is India, or these are Indian elites, or this is the contingent of India. The primary condition is this, which largely has been met. Now, why is it being criticized? First is lack of elegance. Many felt that the designs didn't match the grandeur of the Olympic stage and didn't adequately represent India's rich cultural heritage. Fabric and quality. The choice of fabric and overall quality of the outfits was criticized as subpar. The designer used cotton instead of silk, did not use weaves or embroideries, and chose digital ikat prints instead, which some interpreted as an insult to our handloom and handicraft traditions. They should have been represented. Fit issues. Some athletes complained about the fit of the outfit, particularly for women. Branding concerns. The inclusion of a brand logo on the outfit was seen as inappropriate for such a prestigious event. The logo of Tasva should not be there. And lastly, comparison with other countries. The smaller countries like Sri Lanka and Mongolia, their outfits were more representative of their local cultures. They were more vibrant. But our outfits, being India, the fifth largest economy, and having very rich or extremely rich cultural heritage, our outfits cannot be like this. The last piece of news, that is Oropouche fever. Oropouche fever is basically two people in Brazil died of this fever, and this is the first time in the history of humankind where two people have died due to this fever. The two women, who were both under the age of 30 years, had no comorbidities, means no other diseases, experienced symptoms similar to dengue fever. Brazil's health ministry said that until now, there have been no reports in the world's scientific literature of deaths from the disease. Up to late July, Brazil has recorded 7,236 cases of Oropouche fever, which simply means that this disease is common over there in 20 states, most of which, however, were recorded in Amazonas and Rondônia. In 2023, Brazil recorded about 840 cases, but this is a substantial jump from 840 to 7236 cases this year. Last year, 840 cases. That is a cause of concern. Is the spread limited to Brazil of this particular fever? Oropouche is common in Latin America and the Caribbean, means South America and Central America. When was it first detected? 1955. Trinidad and Tobago, this is Caribbeans, and it has been detected in Europe in 2024, means this year also for the very first time, where Italy reported its first ever case of Oropouche in June 2024. This is Europe's first ever case. That person who got it traveled to the Caribbeans, and from there he brought that. How does it spread? It is a virus disease which is transmitted through the bites of infected midges and mosquitoes. Although no human to human transmission examples of this have not been known. Disease has long been circulating in Central and South America and the Caribbean. Some countries have seen a sharp rise in diagnosed cases this year. First case in Europe, but yes, sharp rise in diagnosed cases have been witnessed in Cuba. So there is this outbreak in Cuba also this year. So this disease is spreading gradually. Symptoms and treatment: it is caused by Oropouche virus, which is transmitted most often through the bite of Culicoides paraensis midge. There is no evidence of human to human transmission of the disease to date. Symptoms of disease are similar to dengue and typically start between 4 and 8 days after the bite. What are the symptoms? Fever, headache, pain, chills, joint stiffness, sometimes nausea and vomiting. Most patients recover in about 7 days. Unfortunately, those two girls with no comorbidities were not able to recover. According to WHO, severe cases are rare. There is no specific vaccine or antiviral treatment available for the disease. But as of now, I think there will be development of something or the other. Now coming on to the MCQs. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Oil spills can be a man-made and natural disaster. Oil spills can have long-term impact on the ecology of the region. 1, 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Second, Exxon Valdez oil spill happened in which ocean? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, none of the above. This is not so easy because I did not discuss it. You have to find it out where, in which ocean did it happen. Third, which of the following designers has designed the outfit for the Indian contingent for Olympics 2024? Simple, very simple question. Sabyasachi Mukherjee, Manish Malhotra, Anita Dongre or Tarun Tahiliani. Fourth, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Oropouche fever is endemic to Brazil. Oropouche fever is a viral disease which can be fatal. Which of these statements are correct? And consider the following statements and mark how many of them are correct. Oropouche fever is a viral disease. It can be transmitted from humans to humans. There is no specific treatment known as of now for this disease. How many of these statements are correct? Now MCQs of yesterday, that is 29th of July. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. PLO was the first organization of Palestinians to be formed. No. Fatah was formed in 1950s, in the 1950s, 1959 probably, and PLO was formed in 1964. So this statement is wrong. The Oslo Accords brokered by USA led to Hamas recognizing Israel, not Hamas, but PLO recognized Israel. So this statement is also wrong, and D is going to be the correct answer for this particular question. Second, consider the following statements about West Bank and mark how many of them are correct. West Bank is on the western bank of Jordan River. This is true. We saw that map. On that map, there was this Jordan River and the Dead Sea as well. Most of the West Bank is under Israeli occupation currently. This statement is also correct. Hamas came to power in West Bank in 2007. This statement is wrong. It did not come to power in West Bank. It came to power in the Gaza Strip in 2007. So this statement is wrong. So B is the correct answer. Only two statements are correct in this. Third, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. First statement is Charaidiomoidems are burial graves of Ahom rulers. That is true. Charaidiomoidems are considered sacrosanct today by the people. Yes, this is also true. So C is the correct answer. Which of the following are qualifications of becoming a governor of a state? First, qualified to be a member of state legislative assembly. No, this has not been explicitly spelled out. Citizen of India should hold an office of should not hold an office of profit. So only 2 and 3 is correct. So C is the correct option. And what are the powers available with the governor when she receives a bill passed by the legislative assembly? Withhold his assent? Yes, he can. Send it for the president's assent? Yes, he can. C is the correct answer for this as well. Now with this, we come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. Not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai Hind.